Hi guys, I'm Vinny. You're welcome to my humble channel. This is part 3 in my little series of Can You Survive with a Folding Knife. In part 1 I built this shelter. In part 2 we collected materials and made some survival weapons. Today I'm going to split some wood and make a fire. Now I know from experience it's perfectly possible to go out and pick small pieces like this, shave them down and make a fire. But according to the internet, it's absolutely vital that we split wood and make a split wood fire. So that's our task for today. Right, so let's get on to business. I've been wandering around and I found some dead wood lying around. This is a piece of dead willow and I'm going to have a go at splitting this. First I need to get rid of this portion with the knot and up here as well. So I want a fairly knot-free piece that I can split. So I'm going to wedge it here in my little tree, this convenient tree, and I'm going to break off these pieces. Okay, so that's our piece, and like with our survival club, I'm going to whittle this down and make it a little bit easier for myself to split it. I can see there are some cracks already travelling, so they may be useful too. So we've got it whittled down, guys. Now this is seasoned wood and it may not split as readily for me. We'll have a go. I know this is a bit repetitive, but these are simple techniques that work. So if they work, why not use them? So I've got a fairly rudimentary crack there. Let's see how we get on. This is my splinter from part 2 and I've whittled it down into a basic knife blade shape, a basic wedge, and let's see, can we use that to split it. Okay, so there's our split wood. Now I'm going to whittle this off again, get another split going and make it smaller. Okay. Once again we have our small split started. And once again we'll do the same with our other piece. So split wood with a tiny knife. and a simple wooden knife blade wedge implement. How's that? Okay, there may be some who are not satisfied with that, so let's have a go at this somewhat thicker piece. Back now, but okay, so we'll have a go at breaking this. Okay, so let's get whittling. Okay, so that's a reasonably thick piece. So see, can we get a little split of some kind? That should split easily. Maybe I spoke too soon, eh? Yeah. Let's get another little break on it, okay? This is dry and seasoned. It's not by any means rotten. It's not the toughest piece of wood either. But then why would you pick the toughest piece of wood? Right, we need a better split. Okay, so split wood with a tiny knife, I think it's possible. Because of the texture of the wood, it did not feather stick very well, so I merely reduced it to shavings, as you can see. So I have some fine shavings there and I have small branches around it. Always a good idea to get out of the smoke. So there we have it, guys. Can you survive with a tiny knife? I was prompted to make this little series of videos because I'm so tired of listening to guys. Every time they picked up a folding knife, they didn't say it may close on your fingers or it's possible. They said it's a folding knife, so it will close on your fingers. And I just get so frustrated listening to this. Like millions upon millions of schoolboys, children, Boy Scouts, ordinary people have used folding knives for well over 100 years, and it's only in the last couple of years that I've heard this nonsense start. Now, I've never been in the Scouts, but I see from the Boy Scouts of America that Cub Scouts who complete a whittling chip course earn the right to carry a pocket knife. They're not allowed to have a sheath knife or a fixed blade. They start with a pocket knife. So I presume the Boy Scouts of America feel that these are safer than fixed blade knives. I would say this: if you're not capable of using a knife like this without having it folding on your fingers, you shouldn't be having any knife. That's my sincere belief. Any tool or instrument can be dangerous. And I mentioned myself that I had done some stupid things in my life, and I have. For instance, I nearly cut my thumb off with a handsaw in my younger days. Also, would you consider this to be a dangerous tool? Your drill. Well, I'll tell you a little story. Maybe you can learn from my foolishness. I decided to make an alcohol stove stand from a tin can, and in my design, halfway up the can, the alcohol stove would sit on a platform, and I decided to make the platform from a tin can lid. So in order for air to come up, I needed to drill holes through it. So I put it down on a piece of wood, and I started to drill, and I could feel it starting to move a little, and I knew I should clamp it, but I was lazy. And I said, here, I'll just press with all my force on the lid and it can't go anywhere. And I proceeded to drill. Just as the drill bit was penetrating the lid, it gripped it and spun it. And I ended up with 14 stitches all around the top of my thumb. So I'm perfectly entitled to say, guys, you need to stop using drills because the power supply can fail. And anyway, you'll end up with 14 stitches around your thumb. Of course, I'd never do that because that would make me a weak and ineffectual person. I learned from my mistake and I practice proper safety in future. I'm just saying, guys, any tool can be dangerous. You need to be careful. And as I say, if you can't use a folder, I suggest you shouldn't be using any knife. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye from Vinnie's Day Off.